Jason Walker Tea Review, where we have for you a tea from Adagio that is called the champagne, or described as one of the champagnes of tea. We will find out, in the words of Christopher Walken, if you would like to enjoy the champagne. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get this ready. Going to go, Oolongs do very well in a gaiwan, a small pot. They allow you to be generous with the leaf because they will fluff out quite a bit and swell. So we're going to allow them some space for that. We'll come back and look a little more closely in a minute. We've got some warmer water here so that because we bring out a lot of flavors with the oolongs when we get higher heats in general. So we're going to set this aside for just a moment, let that begin, and then we will bring our package here so that we can look a little more closely. This is Adagio's Oolong number 40. We have a sample here that is served or gives you about 10 cups for a cost of $5. Instructions, I'm going to turn it around here. Temperature 212 degrees for 5 minutes. So again, higher temperature water. Steep time, they actually recommend a longer steep time of 5 minutes. So we're going to give this a little bit of time to steep and see what it brings out. While we're waiting, we're also going to take a look at our leaves and sprinkle those out. The generous portion here. What we're noticing as we look at our leaves, this is not your tieguanin. This is not balled up into a kind of paper wad type. You're seeing various colors here. You're seeing some light brownish yellow elements here. You are seeing some, how should I say, kind of a chocolate or light milk chocolate brown that you have. We also have some very darker, much darker leaves as well. So we have a variety of levels. Seems to be, well, I should say, fermentation here seems to have been achieved at different levels according in these leaves. So let's also give a moment to talk about some of our smells from our leaf. This is more of a floral, fruity balance of smells that is more, I associate with some of the high mountain oolongs. I get a little bit of a kind of a pineapple sweetness as well, which is pleasant. Okay. Other things that I want to note, I'm looking back at my notes again. I refer to what we have in front of us. I also go back to previous tastings so that I give a balanced and more complete assessment, an account of what we have in front of us. Let's go ahead. Let us now see what we have. Because we've used a smaller container, because we have trapped in more of this heat, we're using some higher levels of leaf per amount of water. We should have a full bouquet of aromas in front of us here. Okay, let's take a look. One thing you want to note, it may be helpful to you. I'm going to go ahead and put these back so I don't make a mess. We want to look at our liquid's color so that we get an idea. As you see, we have a burnt orange, you could say. We have a rich color, fairly deep in the darker realm, darker spectrum. Okay. That's a good pale, that's good amber color that we have there. So let's take a taste. Let the air get to this and unlock flavors, release them. Give a good slurp. Get the airs into the mouth along with the aromas, and let those work together. Because what you're smelling your teas more than you're tasting. Your taste buds generally have salty, sweet, bitter. Those are your taste. But aromas actually come up into your nose and your sinus cavity area, so that you are actually allowing your sense, your olfactory, to give you scents and aromas. Just like wine, teas are about your smell, or about the smell. What I notice here, this has a brisk element, similar to a red tea. A little bit of a puckery, also similar to a red tea. Not too astringent. Let me give it another shot, because I did not find a high level of astringency. Although you could, I'm detecting more astringency than I would in a high mountain or your fragrant oolongs. So on the one hand, I'm confused, because we smelled our dry leaf and we had those fruity, flowery smells, which lead us more towards the more lightly oxidized oolongs. Yet we come to our cup here, and we have characteristics of moving towards a more heavily oxidized oolong that has reached that threshold over towards the reds. So where is it? What is it? To bring all of this together, we have a kind of identity crisis. The champagne of our oolongs gives us a lot to talk about. It's a conversation starter in a social event with others. It's giving the fact that we're not really holding on to an identity as either a lightly oxidized oolong, or a brisk red tea, or maybe even a lightly oxidized red tea, or black tea, I should say. We give this an 80 because we're not sure the characteristics it really needs to express or wants to express. This could be something that you want to try for yourself to figure out how would you want to classify this on your own. This is Adagio's Oolong number 40. I'm Jason Walker, and this is Walker Tea Review.